We've been raised on a legend, a nightmare born in Hollywood labs. We see him as the ultimate killing machine, a monster that outruns sports cars and roars so loud the very earth trembles under its feet. For decades, pop culture told us he was a fast-paced sprinter. But science tells a different story. What if I told you that a human athlete could potentially outrun the king of dinosaurs? What if his terrifying roar never actually existed? What if the real ruler of the Cretaceous was far more complex, much smarter, and significantly stranger than anything we've seen on the big screen? Forget the movie monster. It's time to meet the biological marvel. Recent discoveries have stripped away the cinematic scales, revealing a creature with senses so sharp they border on supernatural. A predator that didn't just brute force its way to the top, but outsmarted its world for millions of years. You are watching Extinct, and today we are going to dismantle the myth and rebuild the king. This is the untold story of Tyrannosaurus Rex. Let's dive in.
To understand the king, we must look at the giants. Meet Sue and Scotty, the largest T-Rex specimens ever found. Scotty isn't just long, he is exceptionally heavy. We're looking at a creature that redefined the limits of terrestrial biology. Forget the 6-ton estimates from old textbooks. Modern analysis suggests 8, 9, or even 10 tons. This is not just a predator, it's a living tank. Every step was a feat of engineering, supported by bones as dense as structural steel. But his true crown was his bite. With a force of nearly 6 tons, he didn't just bite, he shattered. It's like having an African elephant drop directly onto you. He was the only dinosaur capable of puncture and pull feeding, literally exploding the bones of his prey. And then there are the arms. They look like a joke, right? But these tiny limbs could lift hundreds of pounds. Whether they were used for gripping prey or helping the king rise from a nap, they were far from useless. Evolution doesn't keep mistakes for long.
The movies lied to us. If you stood still in front of a T-Rex, you wouldn't be invisible. You'd be dinner. His binocular vision was extraordinary, wider than a modern hawk's. He didn't just see you, he calculated the exact distance to your throat in high definition. But his nose was his true radar. Huge olfactory bulbs occupied a massive part of his brain. A T-Rex could catch the scent of a carcass from miles away, tracking blood through dense forests like a biological bloodhound. In the Cretaceous world, there was nowhere to hide. He wasn't a mindless beast. Based on his brain-to-body ratio, T-Rex was among the smartest predators of his time. We're talking about a creature capable of complex behaviors, strategic hunting, and perhaps even social bonding. He had the hardware to outthink as much as outfight.
For years, one of the world's most famous paleontologists, Jack Horner, argued that the king was a fraud, a giant scavenger. He pointed to the massive olfactory bulbs for smelling rot and those tiny arms, useless for grabbing a struggling prey. He called him the vulture of the Cretaceous. But then we found the smoking gun. Fossilized tails of Edmontosaurs and Triceratops with T-Rex bite marks that had actually healed. You don't bite a dead body and then wait for it to heal. This was proof of active, failed attacks. The king was a hunter, a formidable one. The truth is more nuanced. Nature doesn't care about our labels. Like a modern lion, T-Rex was an opportunist. Why risk a broken leg hunting when you can use your size to bully a smaller predator off its kill? But make no mistake, if he was hungry and you were moving, he was the last thing you'd ever see.
For millions of years, the Hell Creek ecosystem was the king's playground. A lush, dangerous paradise where Tyrannosaurus Rex sat unopposed at the very top. It seemed like his reign would last forever, but the universe had other plans. The Chicxulub asteroid didn't just bring fire, it brought starvation. For a 9-ton titan, the math was simple and cruel. No light meant no plants. No plants meant no prey. The very size that made him a king now made him a victim. The era of giants ended in a heartbeat. He vanished from the earth,
but he conquered our imagination. Today, he is more than a fossil. He is a global icon of power and mystery. The king is dead, but his legend is immortal. You've been watching Extinct. See you in the past.